Hello and welcome to Edukemy's YouTube channel. My name is Harsh Singh and in this video we shall discuss current affairs for today, that is 6th of May 2022. Good evening to all the people here. Amlan, Kriti, Ashish, welcome to all of you. Thank you for writing these 3 questions that were provided here. Great. Kim, welcome to you as well. Let's begin this discussion. People watching offline, good evening and welcome to all of you. What do we have in today's current affairs is the quote of the day. Dark is not the opposite of light, it is the absence of light. Similarly, whenever we encounter the problem, if we do not have a solution, it is the absence of solution that we have, right? Whenever we encounter a problem in the life, it is not that we do not have solutions. We do have a solution, but there is an absence of solution in our life. Therefore, it is just like not getting illuminated with a solution. Therefore, we do not consider problem as something which is actually problematic. It is something that if we are devoid of solutions, we will find it a challenge. Otherwise, every problem has a solution. So try looking for solutions for whatever problems you have, and you are the best judge for finding a solution to any problem. That's the reason that whenever you pose a question to me, I am not able to understand what is the reason I am not able to do well in CSAT examination, I ask a counter question to you, and you are the person who knows it the best, better than anybody else. Yes, guiding and counseling is definitely there from our support. If you like this initiative, share some love to likes, comments and shares. Let's understand what we have in today's current affairs. What we have in today's current affairs is the hot debate on COVID deaths in the country. We have discussed one editorial on this, 2 editorials on this. Please must watch both of them, and we will discuss in short what is the update here regarding the same. And Vibrant Villages Program, Delimitation Commission, and quite a few other articles from today's Terms of Gazette magazine itself. Let's discuss. See, the first topic is related to COVID deaths. Now, the government has claimed that in the last 2 years, India has faced around 5 lakh deaths because of COVID. And this is the 2-year data. And government only lately, just 2 days back, day before yesterday, it released the data of Civil Registration System. What is CRS? This is a system and a network through which a network of around 3 lakh offices spread throughout the whole country, which report the births and the deaths in the country. Now you might have a question, are we reporting all the deaths and births in the country? The government says that we are reporting more than 90% of such issues of birth and death in the country. The institutional ones are definitely reported, but those where after the death a person claims some kind of relaxation, for example, COVID death and 50,000 rupees is being given by the government. So people definitely need a death certificate in that case. People also need death certificates when they want to transfer property. People need these kind of certificates when a bank account has to be transferred, opened, or its finances to be transferred. Therefore, when the system has become online, we need these kind of affirmations through certifications, and that is the reason government says now the registrations at the civil registration system has increased. And when this data of 2019-20 has come up, they say that the total number of deaths in the country, cumulative deaths have been 81 lakhs. And the year prior to it and the year before, 2 years before it, the deaths were such that they were around 69 lakh deaths, and they were around 75 lakh deaths, and then 81 lakh deaths. This is what they have said. This is the cumulative number of deaths. Now, are you seeing an excess death here? Yes, we are seeing that from 2017 to 18 to 19 data, there are around 7 lakh deaths extra and 5 lakh deaths extra. Government says that when these extra deaths are happening, there are possible reasons for this. This is not, COVID wasn't there in the year 2017-18 and 18-19. Then what is the reason? The reason is that there has been an increase in the number of death registrations. This is one. The second reason that they have stated is there has been an increase in the number of deaths as well, because the population structure is such that we are proceeding towards the aged population. These are the 2 important reasons that they have given. Having said that, they also mentioned that these 5 lakh excess that we see in the times of COVID, the first year of COVID, the reason is not COVID. Only government attributes only around 1.5 lakh deaths in all out of the 5 lakh excess deaths to COVID. It says the rest of them are because of increased registrations. Now, the WHO, World Health Organization, has been countering all these government claims. Right now, see, WHO, Lancet, there is so much of evidence through NGOs in India which say that the number of deaths have been 8, some say 6 times, some say 8 times, and now WHO has finally revealed its report and says the death is almost around 10 times that is being stated by the government of India. Government of India Lodge itself says that the proportion of death per million population is one of the lowest in our country. It says that the percentage of the number of deaths is 384 only, according to 384 per million, 384. And this is less than half of what has happened as the world average, which is around 800 deaths per million per 10 lakh population. If you look at the stats and data of United States and deaths in European countries, they are 10 times this. They are 10 times they're 10 times this data. Now, this is where I would like to put in front of you countering views. Whereas on one hand, India laws itself says that we could reduce the number of deaths in our country because of COVID, and possibly we have got some sort of superhuman being power, right? But a state like Kerala has accounted for one of the maximum deaths in the country. We know that Kerala has got great health and education system, and Kerala states that the proportion of death there is around 2000 per million population, and the total country's average is 400. Now, if you go by Kerala's standard and extrapolate this graph for the whole country, if you do that, you would see that we would have in India not 50 lakh deaths, what WHO is stating, 45-50 lakh deaths, but we would definitely have half the number of these deaths, around 25 lakhs because of COVID, excess death. Now the issue here is that government is using a different way of calculation of deaths, and the NGOs, Lancet, WHO are using a different way. What is that way? Government says that we would go by the number of registrations which have happened for death. So death certificates have been issued. It has been issued for 5.5 lakh people, and these are the ones which government has calculated as people who had COVID just before their death. People who had COVID before their death and they passed away, this is that number, 5.5 lakhs approximately. But the other way of calculating, this is direct calculation. The other way of calculating is calculation of excess death. That's the formula. Now through this, what is the formula that these other organizations, WHO and Lancet, have used are ground level reporting. The reports that are present at various cemeteries or various cremation centers, or the claims of the people. There are states where the claim for their claims for the COVID deaths and the amount that the government is reimbursing to the family, the claim is 10 times the number of deaths. Gujarat is a good example of this. The number of registrations are X number and the claim is 10 times X number. So, but even after that, I've seen the newspapers and reports, even after that, the claims total rise to around 6 to 7 lakhs. That is all. But calling them as 40 lakh deaths, that is one thing government has straight away questioned. And we have discussed this, both of it, in 2 different editorials. Must watch. Today we have released those 2 videos, one in the comment section and the other one has been placed rightly at the in the editorials. All right. So these are the 2 methodologies. Now the methodology which the private organizations WHO uses, they say that we would like to calculate through extra number of deaths, that is called as the excess deaths. They are reporting through ground level reporting, they're reporting through state level data, they're reporting through the claims that people have made. So a lot of informal data has also been taken, and this is where government says the methodology that you follow and the models that you're using for calculating extra deaths, that is possibly not most accurate and possibly therefore for India. So one of the models which government accused WHO of using is using the figures of death of the developed world and extrapolating the same in the country. So WHO clearly tagged government of India and told the methodology. It said that all the data has been picked from India itself, all the data has been provided by state level or the ground level operatives, and on the other hand, WHO people informally also accused India of asking not to share the WHO report on death, on COVID death, right, for a few years, because then the kind of fame that we achieve by saying that we had less number of deaths, that would not be there in the country. So this is the political side of it. This is also the side of it where we explain how the deaths have been calculated. Now a couple of important things. Males, please save your lives, because the excess deaths, males have died more than females. Also people who have been elder, they have passed away. People, quarter of the deaths have happened in the population age bracket 80 plus. All right. Even now, when deaths are happening in China and in Hong Kong and other places around, the people who are in elderly population, people who have received no vaccination doses, they are the most vulnerable population. Good evening to Tiyasha, Hima, Babani, Gopal, all of you. Okay. Must watch both these editorials, because the ones which I have put in today and the one in comment. Why? Because in both the editorials we speak about one aspect, that is, the editorial's name itself is "The Dead Must Count," and that has been written by a professor of Harvard. And the other editorial, which has been written by a member of Niti Aayog, he talks of the editorial where he says, the title itself says, "The dead have been counted. The dead must count. The dead have been counted," providing counter arguments. So very interesting debate between both of them. Now, the fact would lie that we lie somewhere in between. So government's claim of 90% registrations in CRS could be doubtful. Could be doubtful. Now, that's not our job to speak of this, but then extrapolating Kerala's figure, we get some ground realities. All right. Questions, please put them in the comment section. We'll get back to it. Delimitation exercises. Right now, the Delimitation Commission for Jammu and Kashmir, which was constituted a couple of years back, has completed its exercise and it has presented its final report. It had presented some interim report as well in between. There's a very important exercise for any place under the constitution where election has to be carried out. So this is an exercise in which ensures that democratic participation, equal participation is there for all constituencies of the country, whether it be state elections or the central elections. So union legislature or the union constituencies, or be it the state constituencies, the membership of every constituency should be equal. Let me explain to you. Suppose we have got district here, this is Poonch, and we have Udhampur here. Now, suppose the population in Udhampur is accelerating more than the population in Poonch. Now, if it is happening so, and in 20 years, it so happens that the constituency represents 5 lakh people more than the constituency in Poonch. Is it justified? No. This is where the constitution says that the representation of all the constituencies must be equal, be it the central constituency or the state level constituencies, for the state legislature or the central legislature. For the state, there are total 90 seats. 90 seats. And this excludes the seat which are present in the Pakistan occupied Kashmir region. India, it is India's part, integral part. However, elections are not happening and people are not being represented from these areas. So 90 seats here. And when we speak of central constituencies, there are 5 central constituencies. So now the government says that this delimitation exercise we have carried out, and we have ensured that the population is represented in all the constituencies equally, be it the central or the state level constituencies. So this gives the position in which the state elections can be now conducted. This is what the government states, but there are oppositions to it. Let's understand the other side also. Now, when these constituencies have been created, extra constituencies have been created, there have been 7 constituencies which have been created. Earlier, the number of constituencies which the Jammu region had were 37 in number, and the number of constituencies in Kashmir region were 46 in number. All right. And now an increase in constituencies has happened. For Jammu region, 6 new constituencies have been given, and for Kashmir region, only 1 new constituency has been given, right? So 46 plus 1 equates to 47 constituencies created, and 6 plus 37, 43 constituencies created. So effective number of constituencies in Jammu region would be 43, Kashmir region would be 47. So let's understand the issue here. Now, I have only told you that 90, how this 90, 43 plus 47, 90 has come. But earlier it was 90 minus 7, that was 83. Right. So earlier people were all right with it, but now with this increase, there is an issue. Let's understand why. See, we will have to understand the demography of the Kashmir region here first, right? See, the total population of Kashmir, can anybody tell me what is the total population of Kashmir region? Jammu and Kashmir total together. Let me explain to you. The population here in Jammu and Kashmir is such that Jammu region has a different population density and Kashmir region has a different population density. Also, the proportion of religious background of the people in Kashmir region is different as compared to what is in the Jammu region. So in Kashmir region, approximately 96% population is Muslim. All right, a couple of percent is Hindu, and then we have Sikh and other Buddhist people as well. All right, 96% plus population is Muslim. When you look at the population in Jammu region, around 30% population is Muslim and around 66% population is Hindu. Now, this is where the first accusation has been put on the government. They say, the regional parties say that there's an attempt to increase the Hindu footprint in these areas. This is what the accusation is. Now, if we are reorganizing, and you must know one thing more, that the population distribution also in this area is such that Jammu division, which has got around 25% area only, it has got 42% or 43% of Jammu and Kashmir population, 43%. So when it has got 43% population, what is the reason that we have got more number of seats representing this area? Kashmir, which has got 57% population, should have more representation. No, but we have added only one constituency here, and we have made them almost equal, 47 is to 43, right? This is one thing. Second thing is, when we are increasing the number of seats in those areas where Muslims are a minority, in democracy, the majority wins. So we are increasing the number of constituencies effectively in those areas which are dominated by Hindu. So this is against the Muslim population. This is the first accusation. Then another accusation is this exercise must be carried out for the whole country as a whole. So the constitution itself says that the 84th Amendment Act of 2002 mentions that the delimitation exercise throughout India will be put off until the first population census after 2026. Until the population census is carried out after 2026, until then delimitation cannot happen. See, delimitation is based on the number of people living in those areas only, and then we are demarcating the internal boundaries and changing them, right? But then when we don't know the complete demography of this place, how are we able to do this? So government says we have not only used the population data, we have used other local data as well to be able to carry out this process. So this is where, see, the result of delimitation commission cannot be questioned in the court of law. It is presented directly to the parliament. But not the result, but the delimitation exercise itself has been questioned by the regional party groups, and it is sub judice right now. All right. So this is the situation as of now. One more thing, 5 parliamentary constituencies which are there as a part of Jammu Kashmir region, all of them have got equal number of the regional state level constituencies, 18 of them equally distributed to each of them, right? And the total population in Jammu and Kashmir is such that we've got approximately 70% of population as Muslim and 30% as Hindu. All right. You've not mentioned the population of Kashmir. This is around 1.2 crore. Okay. Must know. Let's see. You must know the population of your states. So if you're from Uttar Pradesh, state year population, state's population, Rajasthan, state D population, you must know approximate number of the population in your state or your constituency, be it the parliamentary or the state level constituency. And each state level constituency population must be equal. This is what is democratic representation. The delimitation exercise was freezed a couple of times because we wanted to balance the population in the northern and southern states, right? Now moving ahead to the next article of vibrant villages. Okay, the government says that, see, this is a beautiful program, goosebumps happening to me. The government wants to integrate the borderline areas. India shares approximately 3,500 kilometers of border with China. And if you've been part of the editorials from the beginning, of all the discussions from the beginning 2021, you would know we discussed the ways in which China has been trying to integrate the Tibetan population with the Han population along the border areas, not just integrating with each other, but along the border areas. They have been using carrot and stick policies. So there is a scheme that China had started, which is called as Xiaokang policy, right? So according to this policy, the idea was to create well-off villages, well-off or vibrant villages in China itself. The idea was such that through schemes like having better infrastructure, better facilities, better human development, for example, health, education, settlement of people, provision of electricity, provision of water, provision of economic activities, and tourism. Tourism being an important one. We would integrate the Tibetan population along the border areas. See, this is all Tibet only, no? Southern Tibet and the northern area of Tibet, right? All Tibet, there are two states which border India, two Chinese states which border India. One is Xinjiang province. Now it is under POK that we see the border, but ideally, if it comes in the pre-exam, it is not only Tibet which borders India, it is also Xinjiang. You must look at this in the map because it is part of Pakistan occupied Kashmir, the border. We tend to ignore it, so please do not, right? In fact, we also border Afghanistan from here. You must see that in the map. So yes, getting back to this article. Now, this is what China has been doing. Tourism, economy, provision of electricity, water services, health, education, infrastructure building, all of them are being provided along the border and through carrot and stick. What is carrot? They say, if Tibetan people, you want a different country, autonomous division for yourself, no problem. What we are trying to do for you is integrating the Han, the Chinese Han population, the Han tribes population, the general population of the China with the Tibetan population. How? Through marital affairs. So when they intermix the population, there would be lesser demands for creation of a new autonomous division or state. So this is one of the carrot policies. They are also asking them to go get along and get settled along the villages because they are creating infrastructure, and they would also the government would provide them finances for their livelihood as well. Now, this is what China has been doing, and we have seen the creation of 600 villages along the border. And some of them inside our territory. These are those villages that China has created in Arunachal Pradesh. Oh, this is what they have done. And these are Indian sites. Now, the problem in this area is very simple. The problem here is that the areas are at very, very tough terrains. This is high altitude, and these are the places where less economic activities happen. So government says we will create vibrant villages. And this is very similar to what Chinese model is. We will create vibrant villages along the border areas, all the border areas, be it Uttarakhand, Himachal, Jammu Kashmir, Ladakh region, or Arunachal region, all of these regions, Sikkim as well. And we would like more tourism to happen here. We would like more local people to settle along the border. See, the area is sparsely populated. Ladakh, Tawang, and Kutch. These places happen to be those places with one of the least population density in the country, and also one of the largest districts. Ladakh and Kutch happen to be one of the largest districts of the country and with least population. So government says we will resettle those people in the interiors along the border areas, create more vibrancy for you through infrastructure. See, once we give them physical infrastructure, once we give them electricity or power supplies, once we give them some modes of livelihood and some finances and tourism as well, so they will settle in those areas, right? Now the problem here is, right now we are not settling along the borders, but Chinese have already started this process. 600 villages, vibrant villages, their Jiokang villages have been created there, well-off villages have been created. And through this, see, many people residing here are those who are herders, nomadic herders. You know? Just like I had been to Ladakh and I had seen that yaks are the ones which keep grazing those fields. They graze the fields in highlands in the summers, and during winters they come down to the plain areas, right? I had seen this in Nubra Valley. So when this happens, the population here in Ladakh area, it is sparse. So only few yaks go and they do the grazing and come back, and the people also move back during the times of winter. Now, when this is the Chinese side, and when they are so aggressive about resettlement of people along the border, they are the ones whose yak and whose cows would keep on straying and get along inside the Indian borders, where, see, most of the border between India and China is not demarcated. Neither is India-Pakistan border. So, because these undulated terrains, this is how people call it. That mountain is ours, this one is theirs, this is ours, the bunker here is ours. Next time if somebody else captures the bunker, it is theirs, right? And if they are the first ones to settle, it is theirs. So once you go into those border areas, you would understand how people are talking of. There is no fencing, there is no border demarcation at all. This is only placement of some artillery that will determine who is living at what places. But yaks don't know that. But local population don't know that. Once they start to move into Indian territories, slowly and steadily they'll start claiming our territory, and that's what they have done. That's what they have done. So this is where India says that we will also follow this policy. Vibrant villages along the border. Government has also increased the finances for border management. This program comes under this. And one good question for you people: what ministry does this program come under? Anybody? And it will be a great answer here. What ministry does this program under? Ministry of Rural Development. Imagine this. All right. Border management is also a department under Ministry of Home Affairs. But this program is not under this. See, remember this. Whenever questions are asked on government schemes, right? Vibrant Village is a government scheme. Questions are asked largely on 3 parameters: the objective of the scheme, the agency which is releasing it, the ministry, department, so agency, and the third is beneficiary. Who is the beneficiary, right? Who does it benefit? These are the 3 prime areas from where the questions are usually asked. If they want to ask a tougher question, nobody will be able to answer, but then only the simplest things are asked in most of the cases. All right. Okay, moving ahead quickly to the other segments which would like to cover very quickly here. So one is India says that India will also have a Venus program. So it's programmed to Mars and Moon, yes, of course, but then also to Venus, because many of the other countries also have started their program, age-long programs to Venus. 1970s only they started. NASA, Russian agencies, many agencies. Venus was the first one that we wanted to go to. Why? Because it was the closest neighbor, right, apart from Moon. And once we arrived this planet, we understood that this was the hottest destination next to Delhi. That's the meme going on around these days, because Delhi has been very hot. But yes, in the couple of days there has been a lot of thunderstorms and light showers in the city. So it's been good. But yes, Venus is the planet which is the hottest in the solar system. The reason is that the planet is surrounded by a lot of degassing, methane and carbon dioxide, and because of which around the planet there is a huge layer of clouds which is of methane and carbon dioxide. Because of this, a lot of heat is trapped. You understand what is global warming, and this has happened to methane right now, and because of which it's very tough to live in this place. But even then, there could be signs of life, because there is presence of carbon, there is presence of methane. So we want to investigate more about this planet. So this is what is our mission 2023, 24. This is when we are planning to sending a mission, because the alignment of the planet with our planet will be such that the mobility of our satellite will be very easy. The rocket will be very easy. Along with that, something more about Venus is that yes, is Mars Earth's twin, or is Venus Earth's twin? That's a good question. Okay, moving ahead to the next one. Mizoram being the state which is second highest in literacy rate in the country after Kerala. The reason is each one teach one program. So any person who has been teaching and who makes an illiterate person read and write in Mizoram will get some rewards from the Mizoram government, because of which it has become powerhouse of knowledge, Mizoram. All right, Aizawl. And then you can also see Tripura, Nagaland, Manipur, Meghalaya, Assam, Arunachal. Those are the states' literacy percentage in those areas. All right, moving ahead to the next one, Mission Organic Value Chain Development in Northeastern region. The supply chain management of any industry matters. India is trying to enter the global value chain. We understand that, of semiconductor industries, of supply chain of the food processing industries. Yes, we know that. But then how about organic farming? Organic farming is of value for the developed nations. There is export of organic cultivated products, and the products which are cultivated with zero budget natural farming abroad as well, right? Mushroom farming is one of them, the popular ones. So in case you want to enter into business, organic farming is one of the boosting businesses. Now, this is where the government has also said that Mission Organic Value Chain Development will be initiated for the Northeast region. You understand what it means? It means not only, see, yesterday we understood the case study of Beej, right? Seed democracy, right? So when you look at seed creation of, or having seeds, similarly having natural organic fertilizers, similarly ways in which biopesticides could be used or natural pesticides could be used, if these are the ways that we could use in the supply chain management, this would spur Northeastern region's economy, and there would be there'd be a lot of demand, not only Northeast but throughout the whole country. So creating a value chain in a specific area which has future scope of development in the country. This is what will lead to success of the Northeast. All right. So export of king chili sauce. We've got that bhoot jalakia, no, very popular from Nagaland, which is said to be the hottest chili for the whole world. So bhoot jalakia, pineapple is one of those fruits exported very much from the Northeast areas and very much popular as well, right? So exporting to UK, USA, Australia, France, and whatnot. Organic varieties, good to grow. All right, but then we should also keep it sustainable. See, places like Himachal Pradesh, places like Himachal Pradesh, Sikkim, they've already started to see some decline in productivity because of organic farming. So one has to keep a balance between this. All right, today's case study is on an interesting case, that is of lost heat project. See, during the times of partition, a lot of females were the ones which suffered because of partition. And there are many people, especially along the Punjab region, right? Western Punjab and Eastern Punjab. And their studies, their cases, their representation has not been accepted at all. It was never there. It has never been historified. Therefore, the person here, the person's name is Harsh Singh. What he's been doing is that he started the Lost Heat Project. Lost Heat Project, through which they are representing the stories and the epics of those ladies who were strong during the times of turbulence, and they are inspiring the generations to come. That's what is the Lost Heat Project, the case study of the day. I also have another beautiful case study that is on a cricketer, which I would present tomorrow. That is a beautiful case study of a cricketer from Caribbean islands, and who's grown into one amazing cricketer. If you can name that cricketer, I think yesterday's or day before yesterday's match, last over, they scored 6, 4, 4 and whatnot, quite a few runs. And it's a very interesting story of determination of an individual. All right. So with this, we come to the conclusion of the current affairs discussion, and we will quickly meet in the video for feature news, that is on the RBI report on currency and finance. All right. Queen Pineapple. All right. Let me see if there are some questions here. Good evening, Vivek. China has 5-finger and palm strategy. Okay, great. Area of around 60 kilometers occupied by China in Arunachal. All right. Amlan living close by, giving us the reports, ground level reports. The government of India says not an inch of land has been occupied by China. So Venus is Earth's twin. Okay, great. However, Mars also is of very similar nature as of Earth. Yes, absolutely true, Amlan. ISRO has been building bricks. So when they go to moon, they would be using those kind of biochemical bricks. I'd explain this in one of the current affairs sections. We have made those kind of bricks. Queen Pineapple. Yes, Roman Powell. Ashish, we expected this answer from you. I'll write this case study through the audio classes. No, I'll put it down. Don't you worry. I am also very keenly interested in the case of this gentleman. It's a beautiful, inspiring case study for all the people who are preparing for an exam which is as tough as anything. All right, third most toughest exam in the world. And now, if you like this initiative, shower some love through likes, comments, and shares. Let's quickly meet in the current affairs video of feature news for today. That is RBI report on currency and finance. Thank you for participation. Questions, offline viewers, please put it down in the comment section. Okay. Kim says it takes 2 days by walk to reach last post of Indian Army at Arunachal. Yes, and similarly, when you want to reach a post in along the Pakistan occupied Kashmir region, or the Turtuk village, that is the last village along Ladakh, from where the Siachen glacier, also the journey to Siachen starts. This is a humongous journey. In fact, going to Siachen glacier itself, I have got my friends posted there. It takes 15 to 20 days of trek going up. Right? Not everybody can be transported with the help of these cheetah and Chetak helicopters. 15 to 20 days of trek, and acclimatization before that. 1 month of acclimatization before that in the lower plain areas. 15-20 days of trek. 3 months of posting, and then 15 days of coming back, and that completes one round of posting of around 6 months in the Ladakh region. In most cases, the people are not given the next posting because there's a very tough terrain, and people have to just reside at that particular shed for 3 months with 3 months of ration, dry ration with them. All right. Welcome everybody. Kim, Ashish, Kriti, Hima, welcome. All right. See you all in the feature news for today. Thank you for participation. Questions, please put them down in the offline segment. And these editorials are really important. Please view them, though we don't have them in the current affairs, but then we've got them further qualified, further refined for yourself. Please utilize them well. Thank you, everybody.